Okay. And I'm going to tuck you guys down, I think. Now it's recording. Okay. Tuck you guys down to the corner. And let me go back to this in GAR over here. All right. So say we wanted to do, if you go in and pick a hand, you know, this has 67 properties. That's too many to do a detailed CMA. So you can do like 3. So we want to pick 3 sold properties. These are all pending. Here's 3 sold properties, and I'm going to do a CMA. And they're all different, 255,000, 139, and 602,000. That's pretty big difference. But anyway, let's pretend we're going to do a CMA with that. So I can use all the results, all 67, or use the selected. Let's go to use selected, and I can do a full CMA right here, the quick CMA and the statistical CMA. There is training on how to do this under video training, and then recorded training, I believe. And where is that one? It has a search in here. Let's do a search for CMA. All right, the full CMA. Here is how to do that. 49-minute video on how to use this CMA tool.
I can't find that on my Flex.
It's in there. See here, this recorded training. You might be looking for it here.
All videos. So when you clicked up there to the right, my windows that have all our faces cover that, so I can't see them. But
okay, let me see if I can't move it.
Oh,
you can move.
I understand.
Yeah,
So,
you can move the people window.
I can. Oh, yeah, you're right. So where did you?
Okay, you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So I picked out 3 sold properties, and I picked it. I'm going to go right back, start at the beginning here. So I picked 3 sold properties to put in a CMA.
What if you just did 1 subject property? Because that's where I'm struggling the most.
Okay, so here, up here in the active is my subject property. There's my subject property, and now I have 3 comps to put it against. And I'm going to go over here to the CMA button, and I'm going to not use all the selected results. I'm going to use selected, not all results, but selected. This gives you a 1-line CMA, which is very handy when you want to compare 35 or 40 properties against each other and get an average. This is a great tool for that. But I want to do a detailed CMA, so I'm going to go to use selected. And I have those 3 choices right here. And I can do this full CMA, and I can go to the next step right here. And here's where I can customize my cover page. I can look at the subject property and put that information in here, and comps, pick out the comps, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through all this, but this is how you would do it. And the training for it is under here, under the help tab. Go to video training. And if you can't find it easily in the first few videos, type in CMA. And there it is right there, the full CMA. Okay, and that'll show you exactly how to do this step by step.
Okay.
Right?
I think what I hadn't been doing when I've been trying and testing it out, I've just chose 1 property, not like 4.
Yeah, that might be why you couldn't do a CMA, because there's nothing to compare it to.
And then choose 1 as the subject.
1 is the subject, whatever one you're trying to list. And you can use an old listing. So say you're going to a listing appointment and the seller bought that house 5 years ago. You can put that one there as the subject property. Of course, the numbers are going to be off because it was 5 years ago, but the basic information about bedrooms and bathrooms and square foot and lot size and all that stuff is still going to be the same. And that will help you compare the subject property to the 3 comps that you have, so that you can analyze and say, well, this one has an extra bedroom, you add or subtract accordingly, and bathrooms and lot size and all those little details you add and subtract, and it's backwards from what you think it's going to be. So if You got to think about it as I'm trying to make this one match the subject property. So if this has 3 bedrooms and this one has 4 bedrooms, how do I match it? I deduct from this one, or I add to this one, whichever way it lets you do it, to equalize them, okay? It's a little bit tricky. It's like the opposite of how you think it should be done. Anyway, so there you go. That's how you find the video training for how to do a CMA, which I would highly recommend that every one of you do so that you can learn how to do that. We have a CMA in our tools, and I'll show you. I don't know, I've never really tried to use that tool, but we have training in the RSA about that. So I would recommend checking that one out too. It's going to be branded. It's going to be really nice looking. This one is kind of clunky looking on the MLS, and ours is really, really nicely designed. Okay, questions?
Does the smart CMA just, you do that through the MLS?
There's 2 ways you can do it. The smart CMA, you want to go grab your MLS numbers from the MLS, and then you bring them in to, it's in the Smart Sites page right here, Smart Sites and Smart CMA. So this is where you would start a new one, new report. You'd give it a name of whatever, you know, the client name is or the street address or something, and do a new report. And then you'd follow the prompts and the steps through it. The training for that is right in here under Education, Videos, Real Smart Agent Training Playlist. And then in here, where is that CMA thing? There's the Smart Tools. I know I've seen that in here. How to create a tour CRM. I thought I'd seen that in here, how to do a CMA. I'm not seeing it right now, but I think it's in here somewhere. I can't find it, but within the Smart Sites here, they should be able to tell you how to learn more about it. Okay.
Okay.
One of the other cool tools you might do some training on is our video tour for buyers. Where is that one? Smart Site, admin parent of video tours. How to create a tour. This is a quickie on how to create a tour. And given that we're under lockdown right now and we're trying not to go into homes, this will show you how to do a video tour based on the MLS pictures and help your buyer visualize this home before they decide they want to go see it. So they can narrow down their pick of 10 homes down to 2 homes of what they want to see and make an offer on. So if you got somebody that really needs to move right now, this is one way you can use our virtual technology, our smart tools to help you. Okay. All right, going back to that over here maybe. All right, myhomesmart.com, there you go. So you can do a CMA in here. I wish I knew how to use this tool better for you, but I just have not really taken the time to learn it. But there is some training about it, and you can always get help from agent services. They should be able to teach you how to do this. Okay, now I wanted to go in and look at how do we start a transaction and upload a transaction. There is training in here about this, but let's go through it, and we're going to do a pretend sale. Listings are the same thing as sales in how they function, but obviously they have different stages of the process. So here's my listing that has sold. I just haven't finished closing it out yet. But if I had sold this listing, which I have, you'll see over here in sales the same transaction. One is the listing and one is the sale, okay? When you go to create a sale and you have a listing, you want to attach the sale to your listing right here. This one, say we got an offer on this one and I'm ready to start the sale process. I would pick this one and go forward. Or if I'm the buyer's agent and it's not my listing, I would go in here and put in the MLS number. Okay, let's go grab an MLS number and pretend we're going to make an offer on a real listing. So I think I closed down my GAR stuff. So let me go back and get Flex MLS back up. All righty. And let's see here. Let's pretend we're going to write another offer for these people, and I'm going to go to their searches and subscriptions and see what is in there. I know they're getting listings, but I don't see them in here. Let's go to the portal. Okay. So here were 32 homes that they've deleted that they don't want. All right. So we're going to pretend they did want one of these, and I'm going to pull one of these up as an example. Okay. So here we go. Here's something 4604 Camden Court. And here's my detail, and here is my MLS number right there. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to call this transaction 4604 Camden Court. Okay, go back over here to my there. I'm going to put the MLS number right there, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, so a bunch of information is filled out for me right here already. Okay. I don't have an ownership interest in this property, so I'm not going to click that box. And everything else I needed about this is already there for me. But I'm still not ready to save anything. It's not ready to save. I'm missing something here. What am I missing? What am I missing that it's not doing it? I'm ready to go to the next stage. All right, contract date is required. Okay, here we go. We're missing some information. Contract date is today. The closing date is in 30 days. And the contract date will be the date of ratification of both sides agreeing on the contract. So we just got the seller to sign our offer, and he's ratified it, and we're going to go forward, and it's right here. The list price is what's going to show up here, and we actually agreed on less than that. So I'm going to make it $310 instead of $320. All this other information is right. You see how I now have a dark red button here? That means I'm ready to go to the next page. Now I have the buyer, but sometimes I might have the buyer and seller, or the seller. In this case, I just have the buyer. Okay, the other agent should be showing up here for me since we pulled it from the MLS, but it's not in here. So I have to go back, and I'm going to pretend that the agent that we are working with on this deal is one we've already worked with before, just to make my life easier. Let's see, I'll go back to that button and see who is the other agent. The other agent is Michael Vernon with ERA. Okay. All the information I need to fill out right here is here. Their QB license, their office information, all that is right here. And do the other side a favor and go ahead and fill that out for them. A lot of the time I get an offer, I'm the listing agent, and they have filled out nothing for me. Nothing. And it makes me mad. So be kind to somebody else. Pay it forward and fill out all that information. It's not that hard. You need it again and again in the transaction, so just fill it out. Okay, back over here, and that's off my soapbox now. All right, so I'm going to pretend that it's Chris Preen, because I've already worked with him. Chris Preen, or Trish Preen. Let's see here. I'm going to go and find an agent I've already worked with here. Search. So there's somebody I've already worked with on this deal. This is the outside agent. When I click on that box, then these things get highlighted and say I can add it or not. I can add it or add to both, or add to the seller side or the buyer's agent side, depending on where they're working. If this is an in-house office, say I was working with Aaron Taylor on the deal, and we're going to do it together, I can put it here, and it finds in-house agent, and I can add him to my side. Okay, and for a lot of our deals that I'm working with you as our Smart Start program, you might choose that one. Okay, right now in the Smart Start program, if I'm not co-selling or co-listing for you, if you put Smart Start Mentor in here, Smart Art Agent and Smart Start Mentor, choose this one. If I'm not actually on the deal with you, you can choose that one and add it to this side. And that'll take care of the referral fee for helping you with your deal. Okay, there's Smart Start Mentor. If you've got somebody you put in here accidentally, you click on them right here and take them out. Okay, you say, oops, Aaron was supposed to be on the seller side. He's got the listing and I'm buying his listing. My client is buying the listing. So there's Aaron on the seller side. So you can move things around as you need to, and you can come back and fix things too. Say you did it wrong and you got further in it and you're like, oh, I put them on the wrong place, or I put the wrong person. I misspelled their name, whatever. You can go in and fix things. Okay, so you notice here how it says Camille R. Victor and Camille Victor LLC. I have an entity, and that's who actually gets paid when I close a deal. But it also puts me in as the agent because Camille Victor LLC doesn't have a license. Camille Victor does. So we're both in here together, and it automatically knows to attach this entity to my name. Okay, so if you ever get an entity, that's what you'll see, both your name and your entity here together. Okay.
When you put Aaron in as a seller, on the seller side, do you have to put you in as the mentor on that one too?
Yeah, so that's what I would do in this case. So we would
Okay.
put Smart Start Mentor on this side too. Okay, instead of on the buyer side. He's not on the buyer side, he's on the seller side. So I don't need a mentor. I don't need to put that in there. I'm going to take that out for Camille's side. And then if Aaron is the seller's agent and I'm buying his client's listing, that's how we would do that. Okay. So you can change your representation right here. You can fix things up and, you know, stuff like that. Be careful when you put an agent in here that's, you start to type a name. This one doesn't seem to have smart, responsive boxes so that if you start to type somebody's name, it goes and finds it for you. It just sits there until you press the search button. Okay. So there's Trish Preen again. I just closed a deal with her and I had to wait. I had to actually press it. So say I'm selling Trish's listing this time. She was the buyer's agent on my deal, but I'm the listing agent and she's buying my deal now. She's still going to be in our system. And I think that this is global. Trish Preen is now an available agent for anybody to use because her information is in our database now for the entire office. So, but when you work with a new agent that you haven't worked with before, click in there and find them and don't create another one. Okay, we have a Laura Martinez in our office, but we also have a Laura Sweet. Make sure and pick that one. Don't go creating a new agent named Laura Martinez or Laura Sweet. Use the one we already have, okay? Because it gets confusing when I'm trying to do stuff in the system and there's too many of the same person. So try to check first to see if that person is already being used in our system, and then if they aren't, you can create them new, okay? All right. So I don't need one of these agents. I'm going to just move forward and we're going to pretend that this is the arrangement that we have. Okay. I'm the buyer's agent and Aaron is the listing agent and my client is buying his listing. Okay. All right. So now we have a seller. Now, sometimes if we have an investor client, they'll be in here too. Now, I'm not sure if your clients are global in case they work with a different agent or if they're only assigned with you. I can't remember, but I'm going to pretend that the client that I just helped them sell their house is buying a new house. So I'm going to go in and search for Jose Chacon rather than creating a new one. And I'm going to pick that one and pick the seller. I'm working with the buyer, I mean. And now I need a seller client. And all I have to know in working with the seller is that basic information. Isaac Investor is not going to be in our system. I'm going to check first, make sure. Nope. Okay, I can create this new client who's going to be on the seller side, and his name is Isaac, and his last name is Investor, and his email is, you can put the other agent's email here if you want. Or you can leave it blank. This one doesn't have a red star next to it, so it's not required. All we have to have is their name. We don't need any of this other information, and the other agent is not going to give it to you. So don't even ask, just put them in here. That's all you have to have, okay? Now, I'm gonna go look in here. Did I put that in the wrong place? Nope. There it is, Isaac Investor. Now we have both sides filled out. This is my client and that's the other side's client. Now, Aaron being in my office may have already put this client in here, and that's why we might see them, because it's an in-house sale, right? Agent to agent within our own office. That client may already be in here. All right, next, referrals. So say this was an OpCity lead. This is where you would put that. OpCity, search. This is probably in here multiple times. There it is, opcityrealtor.com. Just use that one, don't create a new one. And that one is on the my side, all right? I've got to pay 35% referral out to OpCity on this. So there you go. I also need you to do this. For our GRT, this is how we're doing this. And I'm going to do a whole video training on this because this is really important. We have now figured out how to do this right. You see how we have some GRT tax codes in here? This helps me track it so that when it's time for me to pay the GRT tax, I know which code to assign that to. When you just put in GRT tax like we were doing, I have no data to work with. I had to go through every transaction and look up every transaction's details to find the amount of GRT, which code, which location, yada, yada. And it was just excruciating. So this right here is what's going to help me. This is, I think, Santa Fe or Rio Rancho or something, maybe. And then this is Albuquerque. That one I think is Santa Fe. This might be Bernalillo County. I'm not sure. You should know the GRT tax code. Okay, we're going to pretend this one is in and this one, and actually it does only really need to be added to mine, not to the other side, even though the other side is collecting it. Okay, you just need to put it on your side, but choose one. And if there's not one for your code, say you're working in another county that's not on here yet, here's how I want you to create it. I want you to write GRT tax, and then for the last name, I want you to put the code. I actually have a GRT code list right here, and we're gonna choose Sandoval County, Bernalillo, the city. Bernalillo, the city is 29-120. Right there. Oops, not dot dash. 29-120. That's Bernalillo County. I mean Bernalillo, the city. And I do have to put a brokerage, so you just put HomeSmart. And there it is. So that's the brokerage. All the information is there for you. And it needs a mobile phone. You can put the office phone number in there. And you can put the office broker email. Or mine, or yours. None, I think just put broker. That's good. Like that. So that's the referral. That's how to do our GRT tax tracking. Okay, that's really, really important to me. So that's how you do that. But this one is actually an 02100, so we're going to choose that one. So we have an OpCity referral and we have our GRT tax in here. Now, vendors. We have some vendors in here already. So let's look for Fidelity. Oops, I didn't spell that right. Search. And every escrow officer, oh, come on, what's the matter here? Oh, it's not, it needs to be title and escrow. Sorry. So we've worked with several people at Fidelity. They're all going to show up here. Where are they? Why aren't they showing up here? Maybe they're just in as title. I might need to, I hope I can go in and clean that up. Fix that, because I'm really doing both. No. Oh dear, what is the matter here? Why aren't those showing up? I guess they should show up here already. I don't know why that's not showing up right. I have to ask somebody. Fidelity is the one we use the most. Title and escrow, oops. Now, no vendors. I don't know why that's not working. I need to find out, because there should be a list of people that we've used before to choose from right here. And I believe this is a global list. Okay. So in that case, we're going to have to add a new vendor and fill all this information out. And you cannot get past go without doing this. Oh, that's the company name. I put that in the wrong place. Company name goes where? First name. Maybe it's the person I have to put their name in. Maybe that's what it's looking for. Oops, not create. I want to search. There we go. That's what it needs, is the name of your escrow officer, the first name of your escrow officer. It doesn't seem to find them by title of company. Here we have Debbie Henning with Stewart Title and Debbie Talley with Fidelity. So I'm going to work with Debbie Talley, and she's going to be helping both sides. That's normal and customary for the same escrow office to help both sides. If you're doing it differently than that, that's kind of weird. Okay, next. All right, here's where you put the commissions in. The seller side, if you don't know the seller side commission, because I've got the buyer, I don't know what the seller has agreed with the other side. I don't have to put anything in for that, but I do have to put what my side is. So if my side is 3% and the purchase price is already in there, it already calculated my commission for me. My GRT tax on that is going to be 7.875% of that amount. Okay, my phone was, I turned my phone off and I've got all kinds of messages in here. Okay, so here's my calculator. It doesn't calculate this for me because there's just too many percentage points, different percentage points. There's no way to, you have to calculate it yourself. So we have 9,300 as the gross commission times 0.07875 for Bernalillo County, Bernalillo City, not Albuquerque, sorry. 732.38 because it's 375. So that's the GRT tax right there. The op city referral is 35% of that 9,300. So I'm going to calculate that 0.35, and that's 32.55 going to op city. We're going to do that. That's my net commission. All right. So I have to make sure that that's worked out right. I think that looks correct. And the GRT is on the entire commission, not on my share of it, okay? All right, it's automatically gonna know that it needs to pay my LLC. It's got all that figured out, and there's Camille, the agent who actually did the work. There's the fees. Camille Victor pays the fees just like everybody else. And I'm still missing some information because it's not letting me move forward. So what am I missing here? I don't think you have to put the other side's commission in there, just my side. So what am I still missing?
I think you do have to put the other side because I
Do
was working on mine last night and it wouldn't let me unless I went across.
It insisted you put something in there, huh?
On the other side, yes.
All right, thank you. Let's try it. Yep, see, that's all it needed was me to put something in over there. And it doesn't matter if it's not right because we're not paying that side. In this case, Aaron is doing it too. And here's the other thing you should know. If you're working with an in-house agent, we only need one file. So whoever is the stronger agent, the better agent, the listing agent, you guys work out who's going to be in control of doing this file. Each side has work to do in their file, but I don't need two files. It will automatically put the transaction in the other person's file. So one of you choose who's going to start the transaction, and then you can go in and each add whatever you need to for your own side of it. Okay, but it will put the same paperwork in both files. it will keep the contact information the same for both files, and the commissions the same for both files, and everything it makes it actually much, much easier for you guys to work together. So probably the more experienced agent should be in charge of managing the file and the other agent learn, or sometimes, you know, we may in the future have a protocol that it's always the listing agent. If it's an in-house deal, the listing side is the one in charge of doing the paperwork for both sides. Okay, so that hasn't come up yet, but for now, I think it's probably going to be the more experienced agent, or if it's two newbies, then I'll chip in and help, and I'll just choose the listing side to be in charge. Okay, there we go. Save all changes and move forward. Sale saved, yay! Say, okay, now we have our transaction in the system. And I'd really like you guys to get your transactions into the system within 3 days of ratification. I don't want paperwork in there that's half signed by only one party. I want complete paperwork in here, and as within 3 days of when it's done. Sooner is always better. Okay, so now I've got all this done and I can upload my documents. So I'm going to go into the inbox right here, and I'm going to pick out the pieces of paper I need to put in here. So I keep my transactions in a folder called Real Estate Biz, separate from the real estate office, and I have a little folder called Clients. That's where I keep all my deals. So I'm going to pick a client here to upload some paperwork from, a pretend client deal. Who should we put? All right, let's just pick the one I worked on most recently. Let's pick this one over here, the Clopton deal. That's my client. This is the Cloptons. It's actually Jose Chacon, but I'm going to just pretend it's right here. This is a deal that actually didn't work out. Is it? No, here's the deal that did work out. So I have some paperwork in here. So here I've got my purchase agreement all signed, and I keep track of it. Like if I've got the unsigned version in here, I designate that as unsigned, and I want to know the all signed version. Here I have my counter offers, all signed counter offers, seller signed, all signed. Counter one, only the seller signed, I don't want that one. Here's counter offer 2 and seller signed only. I want both signed. Here's the unsigned version, buyer signed. All right, there we go. So we got the CO2 that the seller signed. I'm going to include the one that the buyer signed too, depending on what order these got done. All right, this not sure which one was the final version. Oops. I need my tax estimate to get put in here, and I'm going to need an MLS item in here. The MLS active is a good idea to put in here too. The reason for that is it has happened where once the agent gets an offer, they realize, oh shoot, I was supposed to change the commission from 3 to 2.5 and I forgot to do it. And they'll go back and do that after you've already got your offer accepted. Or they get greedy or whatever, and they change it on you. If you've got an MLS printout of when you made your offer, at the time you made your offer, I mean, you can prove that you deserve to get paid the 3%, not the 2.5%. It doesn't happen very often, but I have heard of it happening. I don't care about the MLS active other than that. I'm just trying to protect you from somebody who tries to change the commission. All right, and it also has important information for you about the terms and so forth of the deal. So it's helpful information, and sometimes, you know, maybe it would be helpful to me to have it in there to check something or other too. And for example, this one has the washer dryer not included, but the is included. So if you have that information from the listing as well, you can verify that, yep, those things were supposed to be included or not included. And you can, you know, have a backup paper trail. Sometimes that can come back and be an issue. So here's all the things I've uploaded right here. All right, they're all uploaded and in the system now. All right, nothing else to do. Save all changes. And I don't know, it says it's saving, sale saved. Okay, now all those documents are in there. And this has not been approved by Camille yet. It's in there, but it's still showing pending approval. So me and the Paperwork Services Department go in every day and look for new transactions to approve. At that stage, we're just looking for, is all the information filled out and does it make sense? And we just pretty much rubber stamp approve it. I don't know why we even have that step in there, but we are supposed to approve everything. So once it's approved, then you can do more with it. Now this one didn't pull in the listing picture. I'm not quite sure why, but I wonder if I can go back and add that in there. Image not available, update image from the MLS. So it's going to pull in the house picture. That helps me visually know that I'm in the right deal, okay? And so there we go. So we've got all these transactions. Nothing is showing here as being completed, even though I've uploaded them, because somebody, either me or Paperwork Services, needs to go into the back end and look at all that paperwork and let you know if there's anything to correct or change. If you will read here at the bottom, there's going to be review items. Please upload the MLS active form. Please upload the tax estimate. Please get page 8 initialed by the buyer. Any instructions of things you need to correct or add or fix are down here for you, okay? I'm not sure if you get an email too. That would be nice if you did, but I don't think that that's the case. But anyway, there is information for you to follow up on and complete paperwork. And as things get reviewed, you start to see green X's and green check marks as received and reviewed. Sometimes it's received, but I haven't seen it yet. Once I've seen it and reviewed it, it goes a green check mark over here. Not all of these things are going to be required. You'll have to use your own judgment to see if something isn't required. You don't need to put it in there. FERPTA is actually also known as the Qualified Substitute Form. I need to fix that. And ILR could be a survey or other things. I don't have a waiver set up for them to waive that, but so I need to fix that too. It's either in there or it's not. Okay, when you have documents to upload, you can actually use this email to upload documents to your transaction from your smartphone or your computer. Say the other agent sent you some stuff by email. I think you can actually forward it using this email and it will show up in the new documents of the transaction. I haven't tried that, but that's how that's supposed to work, okay? If you go along through the deal and the ORW comes along and everybody agrees to take a $10,000 price cut on this house, you can go back and edit the transaction and modify that. Now everything is going to be based on 300,000. Okay, save all changes, and it'll move you through the stuff again. You can just move back. Is it going back to the beginning here? I'm not sure what it's going to do next. Okay, here we go. So it throws you out after it's completed that. So now our transaction fee cost, or the sale price, is $300 because of the ORW, and your commission should be automatically adjusted as well, which is nice. You don't have to refigure all that out. So let's go back and check on that. So this didn't recalculate, darn it. So I wonder if I just go in here and save all changes, if it's going to recalculate that for me. Let's check. As you can tell, maybe you can't tell, I hire a transaction coordinator. So I haven't been in here for a while to see how this stuff works. It's still the wrong commission. So you need to go in here and manually update this because it's not doing it for me here. All right, so now we have a $300,000 deal instead of $310,000, and the commission should be just $9,000, and everything else is going to modify too. So now we got to change the GRT tax. 9,000 times 0.07875, and that's now 708.75, and the commission split to Op City is different too. And that is now 3150, I think, or something like that. 9,000 times 0.035, no, 0.35, 3150. Okay, so now all the blue boxes, it will automatically calculate for you, but it did not automatically calculate the commission. Okay, so
City
be aware of that.
Is Op City another broker out of the area, or who is Op City?
Op City is a referral service, and it's owned by Realtor.com. And several of the agents, I still need to add Aaron, sorry, they will get leads from Op City to follow up and deal with clients and hopefully get them into escrow on something. And when that happens, they get 35%. Op City gets 35% on deals over 150,000 and 30% on deals under 150,000. Okay, so we have quite a few Op City deals in the office. They give us a lot of leads. Okay. So I think that's all I can think of to tell you right now. Once you get as you get your stuff done, I'm the one that closes out the transaction, not you. But when you get a paycheck coming, if you want to give me a heads up and say, we're closing in a few days, have you sent the OTPC out? That would be helpful. I get busy, I forget to check these things. The money will still come to the office and I'll still pay you as fast as I can. But it's helpful if you let me know a sale's about to close so that I can check the file, let you know what needs to be taken care of. I can tell you that it's much harder to get paperwork signed after the deal has closed. So we want to check your file beforehand, before it closes, to see the status of the file and make sure that you've got all the paperwork you're supposed to have. And you're in good shape for getting your check as soon as it closes, okay? We've had newer agents tell me the day of closing, I have a deal closing today, and they have done nothing in their file. Please don't do that to me. So try to keep up with your paperwork as it goes through the deal and upload your paperwork as it's finished, not in process. I want all signs and signatures done and everything like that, so that at the end of the deal, all we're missing is the walkthrough statement and the MLS sold and the closing paperwork from escrow. Okay, that makes my job so much easier, and I can be helpful to you along the way. If you've kept up with your paperwork along the way, I can make sure and help you get your stuff done. If there's something missing or something wrong, we can get it corrected while all parties are still in the game. Believe me, it's way difficult to get somebody to sign paperwork about a disclosure when the deal's all done. Okay, they're like, I don't care anymore, I don't have to sign that, and it's impossible. So get it done during the transaction. Don't wait till the end. Okay, any questions right now? I think we did pretty good at getting through a lot of stuff today. There's lots of training in the RSA for all this stuff of how to do transactions. Let's see, go to education and the videos. So there's training stuff on how to upload transactions and how to manage your transactions right in here. Real Smart Agent, learning the basics, how to create a new sale, a new rental, a listing, a referral, how to manage your transactions, all right there. Those are all helpful videos to show you in more detail the things that I'm doing for you, and hopefully those are up to date with the current systems issues that we have. Okay, always encouraging you to do more training. More training. There's so much to learn. Any more questions right now? Did we cover everything we need to cover today for you about these things? Getting your transactions started and managing transactions. I know you're going to have a lot more questions as you actually get into it, and I'm going to have forgotten to show you something or tell you something you need to know. That's okay. And you're learning it now, but your first transaction might not be for a month or two, and I fully expect you're going to forget everything I've taught you. But hopefully you can come back to the training, or you can muddle through it enough to try and make a first attempt at it, and then I can help you when you're stuck.
I was wondering, when you upload to Real Smart Agent your transactions, can you just keep your files directly at your GAR portal or your MLS portal and just get them from there, like your listing agreement and all that and purchase agreement?
No, I don't think so. But your transactions are there. So when you log into your dashboard as an agent, all your transactions are right here.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back to work on any transaction right here. Okay.
So you
And
can
recent
download a
work is
PDF
here.
from there and then just
Recent,
upload it to your RSA or what have you.
right. They are working on getting this to be simultaneous and seamless. That's one of the projects that they were working on this year. Right now, everything's in turmoil, so I don't know if they're working on this right now. But one of the agendas this year was to make it possible so that whatever you do here automatically gets loaded into the RSA. And you don't have to do the downloading of the documents and then uploading of the documents anymore once they get that done. They've got 35 states and dozens of boards to do this for. And I don't know how many signing systems there are. I know of 3 or 4 contract and signing systems. I'm hoping that that there's, you know, enough of a limited number of those that they can interface with zip forms and dotloop and instaforms and Instanet, I mean, and I don't think there's another one out there too. I can't remember. So if this will get better and easier later this year, they're working on it. Okay. What else? I guess I did a brilliant job of teaching everybody today. There's no questions.
It's all we have to kind of go back and look through things, I think.
Yeah, I think once you start doing things, and it wouldn't hurt those of you who have your GAR access to go in and do a pretend transaction. Pretend you have a client who's making an offer on a property, and pretend you have a listing agreement to do, and make a stab at it, especially since you just learned all this stuff while it's fresh in your mind, and then you can have something to refer to when you actually do get a deal that might help you as a template. Okay, I need to go in and create some templates for us. I've just been so busy and I forget to do it until I get into a class and I'm like, shoot, I still haven't done that for you guys. So I can create some global templates that would help you as a starting point. And so it's on my to-do list. That's all I can
So
say.
you send me copies of the agreements.
Okay.
And the paperwork, yeah.
All the rest of you have board access. Connie doesn't yet. I think I've already made a note here, but I'm going to circle it. Okay, and I got to add Aaron and Amara to OpCity as well. Amara, is your license in? It is, right? Okay. What else? Any other questions? Your homework is to go back and learn some video, do some videos and practice a little bit, to read the transaction documents. I know, Connie, you can't do any of that. I'm sorry. And
okay, I'll catch up.
You'll catch up. You'll be fine. And if we get to work on that deal together, you'll get a chance to do it with me and learn.
He listed it.
Oh, shoot. Darn.
Yeah.
Okay. Darn. Well, next week we're going to talk about your website, the HomeSmart website, and how to promote that to get business. What's the best way to leverage that as a tool for you? Okay. We're going to talk about URLs and domain names and email addresses and things like that, landing pages and things like that. So that'll be the next class, and that's going to be Wednesday night, April 1st. I think that's the 1st. And that'll be our last Wednesday night class, because after that, we're going to start getting into more marketing, and there's more homework and more to do to learn in between each class. And I don't want to overwhelm you. And yeah, basically that's it. I don't want to overwhelm you. And we can take our time on that part to get you brought up to speed on how to get more business. One thing at a time. We walk before we run. Okay. Anything else? Everybody good? All right. Stay safe out there and stay home as much as possible. I may or may not be at the office this week, but I will be working. I'm working as hard as ever. I'm trying to get caught up on things like bookkeeping and stuff like that. We're still recruiting. If you know anybody who would like to make a change and are tired of paying too high of fees at their office and ready to come and join us, let me know. $100 Visa gift card for everybody that signs up that you refer me to. Okay. When you get your first deals, I'm happy to help you. Just holler. And if somebody happens to, I'm already working with Melissa on some stuff. I'm hoping that her friend gets his deal accepted. We've been trying, we put in 4 offers now. 4, right?
I think this is 5.
5? Oh boy.
Oh,
So yeah, he's at that 200,000 and under price point, and there's multiple offers first day on the market. And he started out trying to, lowball it and get some closing costs too, and that wasn't working. So
Not the
little by
market for
little-
that. It's
What's that?
not the market for that.
Exactly, but it took a little while for him to get that message. So now he's making stronger offers, and he has a good chance at getting this one, I hope.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Good. So that's all, you just have to try, and you can't make your clients do what you think they should do. They have to sometimes learn their lessons the hard way first. But I always think, he's going to get the house he's supposed to get, the right house. All those others didn't work out because they weren't the right house for him. So he seems to be really excited about this one. I hope it works out.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah.
When
good.
there's not a lot on the market, just remind them they only need one.
Yeah, just keep trying. Don't give up. One of them's going to work. Okay, great. Well, let me know if you guys have leads you want me to help you to work, or if you have things coming up. Aaron and I did an interview this week with an investor, and that went really well. He's actually, kudos to Aaron. He actually just outright asked this investor, so are you going to give me your next listing? And he said, sure. Yay, Aaron.
Go for the close. Go for the close.
So that should be fun. All righty. Stay safe out there. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.